Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I congratulate the Honourable Lady for Motherwell and Wishaw for setting the scene so well? And can I say what a pleasure it is to see the Minister back in his place? And I look forward very much to the Minister's response. He never lets us down, and there's no pressure on him to give us the answers that we need. Thank you so much. Child maintenance service is an extremely important service in the lives of so many of the children. It's always a desire that splits are amicable and that the decision can be made between parents as to a split of time and finances. This is always a goal, and unfortunately it's not always reached. Too many times in my office I see resident parents at the end of themselves due to a breakdown in their relationship and struggling financially whilst they await involvement by CMS to help resolve their dispute. At this stage I want to, as others have done, to thank my local team of CMS who work with my office. They do their utmost to be open and transparent and to come back to us urgently. Often their hands are also tied. They're waiting on employers coming back, waiting on accountants coming back, and the process is long and difficult. And we do have, many examples which time prevents us from giving today of those who we would suggest, and maybe it would seem that they are deliberately avoiding payment. And I think the Honourable Lady for Romsey and Southampton said that there was somewhere special for them. I couldn't say that would be right, but I could say that we need them to respond quickly. When we add in the delays that the pandemic have introduced with civil servants waiting for months to get their appropriate equipment and cases on hold, whilst these are understandable, as we know how each of our offices have had difficulties, it does not make them acceptable. And for that parent left at home alone, holding the baby, waiting for the financial help, with no means of increasing tax credits, which are reviewed annually, we have seen the stress of lockdown, exacerbated by the lack of financial and emotional support for these parents. And it's clear that the CMS system needs drastically altered to be able to help out in the short term and not in the long. The impact of furlough on wages. Some parents use this as a reason to reassess their outgoings, cut payments for the maintenance of their children. The delay was made worse by the lack of equipment and staff. Press articles tell people to pay child maintenance as usual. The articles also went on to say that amounts could be recalculated. While this is understandable if a hairdresser or a leisure centre worker was precluded from working, the child still needs the same money to live, and government could and should have done was to make up the difference in the interim and working out the longer term repayments. I suggest, maybe Minister, that might be one of the things that we could learn from this process of where we are. Food bank vouchers issued through my office are more than doubled, and for many single parents, they were devastated at the loss of payments which weren't made up by the tax credits or the universal credits. So there have to be lessons learned, lessons constructive in a way that we can address the essential area is how we support children in poverty. Those who need extra attention, who note the worst for wear clothes, other small signals of struggles, and yet within a parent who do their very best. Excuse me, to express concern that these children didn't have laptops at home was also an issue. And I'm thankful to the Education Minister at home who ensured that schools were able to take in children with access to reliable internet or equipment. But we need to do more, and perhaps maybe there's another way of all the government departments working in tandem with each other. Madam Deputy Speaker, my heart is for children. And for the more I speak to those who work with them, the more I understand that there are so many homes with so many more difficulties in this worst of times. We have not in this place made the decisions that have eased it for as many. Getting it right with CMS relieves financial but also emotional pressure in the home, and we must have a way of allowing those who are struggling and have their CMS altered to get the help that they need to provide the steady life for their beloved child. We have in unprecedented times, and now we see the problems in the current system as we learn from those. Let us take steps to rectify them, knowing that when we do, we positively impact upon the home life and experience of our children who need this more than ever. Madam Deputy Speaker, thank you.